Welcome to Bookhaven.
You ever get that feeling? Like no matter where you stand on, belief and all that, the question of God just keeps popping up.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those universal things, whether you're devout or questioning or haven't given it much thought. It's kind of woven into the human experience, isn't it?
Totally. And that's what I found so interesting about We Who Wrestle with God,
Yeah.
the book we're diving into today. It's not just like straight theology.
Right. It's more like journey through history, personal struggles, all these different ways people have seen the divine.
Exactly. It's almost like our idea of God is always evolving, like a reflection of where humanity's at.
It is. The book really highlights that. It's not static, not at all, but changes with our hopes, anxieties, the whole cultural landscape.
I was blown away by how ancient civilizations saw their gods. So different from what many believe today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like the ancient Greeks, for example, their gods were kind of a mess.
A mess.
Well, not literally, but they were flawed, passionate, prone to jealousy and infighting, just like us.
Makes them relatable in a way, huh?
Right, a far cry from the all-powerful, all-knowing God that comes later.
That's a huge shift. The book gets into some fascinating theories about what caused it.
Yeah, tell me about that.
Well, one argument focuses on how societies became more complex. As populations grew, social structures got more complicated. The idea of a single unifying God might have been more appealing.
Yeah, I can see that. Like a way to impose order on all that chaos.
Exactly. And the book also highlights figures like Zoroaster, who had this concept of a single benevolent God, or Akhenaten in ancient Egypt, who tried to start a whole monotheistic cult.
Wild. It's like piecing together this massive puzzle of beliefs across time. But it's not all just grand historical stuff, is it? We Who Wrestle with God also gets really personal about faith.
Absolutely. It's not just about dogma. It's raw emotions, doubt, fear, even those moments of awe and love. The book really captures that internal struggle.
Right? Because believing in something bigger than yourself, it's not always easy. Life throws curveballs.
Totally. There's this one anecdote that really got to me. A woman who loses her child. Her faith is just shattered. Can't reconcile that suffering with the idea of a loving God.
Heavy stuff. Those moments where you question everything.
Those are the moments when the real wrestling happens. It's messy, it's human, and it's what the book captures so well.
Makes you think, hasn't it ever happened to you? Something so big, so life-changing, that it shakes your beliefs to the core.
For sure. I think those are the moments that shape our faith, define how we relate to, well, whatever we consider divine.
What strikes me is that even with all these individual struggles, We Who Wrestle with God finds these common threads across totally different spiritual traditions.
Yeah, it's fascinating, isn't it? Like, beneath the different rituals, beliefs, all the outward stuff, there's this universal desire for meaning, to connect to something bigger.
They keep bringing up mysticism, and I'll admit, it's always sounded a bit, out there to me. Can you break that down? Like, what does it actually mean?
Sure. Think of it as like a moment of pure connection. Feeling totally one with everything around you. You know that sense of awe you get looking at the stars? Or losing yourself in music?
Yeah, I get that.
It's that, but amplified, like a transcendental level of experience. That's what mystics from all over have described this direct experience of the divine, going beyond the physical world.
So it's less about the labels we put on things and more about that human need to find meaning, to tap into something beyond ourselves, especially when the world feels chaotic.
Exactly. And that ties into what I think is the core message of We Who Wrestle with God. It's not about having all the answers. It's about being okay with the questions, with the doubts, recognizing that the struggle itself is what makes faith meaningful.
That's a good point. It's what makes us grow, evolve, understand ourselves and the universe better.
Absolutely. And speaking of questions, the book leaves us with a powerful one to ponder. It asks, if God is truly beyond our grasp, how can we ever define or limit how the divine might show up in our lives?
Wow, that's a deep one. It makes you think, doesn't it? This whole wrestling match with God, with faith, with these huge questions. It's not about the finish line, it's about the journey.
You got it. And we're all on that journey, in our own ways, figuring it out as we go.
So true. I love that. It's been quite a ride today, hasn't it? From those wild Greek gods to personal crises of faith to this universal search for meaning.
It has. And who knows what other discoveries are out there waiting for us.
Exactly. And that's the beauty of it all, right? journey continues. We're always learning, growing, wrestling with those big questions. And that's something worth reflecting on.
I think so too. Thanks for diving in with me today. It's been a great conversation.
My pleasure. It's always a fascinating topic to explore. And for all of you listening out there, keep wrestling, keep searching, and keep that conversation going.
We Who Wrestle with God by Jordan B. Peterson. Now on sale for just $23.68. Don't miss this chance. Click Buy Now today.
Like and subscribe for more Bookhaven podcasts.